So our topic for today is all about deferred annuity. So again, this is Sir James. Okay, so let's review what is annuity. Okay, so this is annuity, and an annuity is a sequence of periodic payments paid or received at equal time intervals. So those are the examples. Simple annuity, an annuity whose payment interval is the same as the conversion period M. There are three types of simple annuity. We discussed already the ordinary annuity. This is the periodic payment is made at the end of each payment interval. The annuity due is payments are made at the beginning of each payment interval. And for today's topic is deferred annuity. So annuity whose first payment is to start at some future date. Okay, so there's are the terminologies for the annuity. Okay, for the annuity due, we use subscript D. Okay, to represent that problem falls under annuity due. Okay, so there are two formulas for annuity due. Okay, this one. Okay, if for example, number one, if money is worth 10% compounded semi-annually, find the present value of 12,000 annuity every 6 months. The first of which is due at the end of 3 years, and the last at the end of 7 years. Okay, so let's write all the given. Okay, the given is 10%. Okay, so you have 10% or 0.10 or 0.1. Semi-annually or compounded by semi-annually, so your M is 2. The present value, okay, is to be found. Okay, and therefore this 12,000 is not your present value. This 12,000 is the annuity payment every 6 months. So the periodic payment every 6 months is 12,000. Okay, your time is 7 years. Your P this time is equal to M times T. Okay, so this is the same as N, but this time we solve for P lang. Okay, since this is for deferred annuity money. So your M is 2, your T is 7. So your P, okay, if we return to, if you look for your terms, the P there is M times T na Japan. Okay, your deferred period is 5. This deferred period is the number of periods na wala ka nagbayad. Okay, so remember, your first payment is at the end pa of 3 years. So the first 5 semi-annual is wala pa ka nagbayad. Nagsugod ka at your 6th semi-annual or the end of the 3rd year. Okay, so the deferred payment is 5. So your I is R over M. R is 0.10, your M is 2. So 0.05 is the value of your periodic rate. Okay, you're looking for annuity due or the present value of your annuity due. Okay, so you have AD. So if we flash back the formula for the annuity due, you have this one. Okay, so solution. The solution for annuity due is your R, periodic payment is 12,000. Your I is 0.05. Your deferred payment is 5. Again, your 1 plus I, so your I is 0.05. So substitute all the values lang of the given in your formula, and you will arrive to this one. Then, similar with the previous examples, always use PEMDAS. Okay, so for the numerator, we add inside the parentheses, in the parentheses, 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05. This one is again the same, 1.05. Okay, then also the numerator, in the numerator, the exponent, 14 plus 5 is 19. Okay, so simplify further, 1.05 to the power of negative 5, you have 0.7835. If you use 6 or 7 decimal place, much better to minimize the margin of error. Okay. Then minus 1.05 to the power of negative 19, you have 0.3957. Simplify the numerator. Okay, so you'll arrive into 0.3878. You divide it by 0.05, so you will arrive into 7.756. Okay, use any calculator. Much better if you use scientific calculator. If you don't have a scientific calculator, just download an application or simulator in an app in the Play Store. Okay, so 7.756 times 12,000 pesos. Therefore, your present value is 93,072 pesos. Okay, so if you use 4 or 5 decimal place in this part, okay, there is discrepancy in our answer. So siguro that is only in decimal places or ones place. So okay na siya, mapasaylo na siya. Okay, so as long as you don't use two decimal place, okay, once you use two decimal place, there is a much higher margin of error. So at least 4 man lang na decimal place. So this is our present value. Okay, let's proceed for example number 2. For example number 2, find the semi-annual payment. So you're looking for the periodic payment, which is to be paid semi-annually at the end of every 6 months. If money is worth 16% compounded semi-annually for a debt of 45,000 pesos, in which the first payment is due at the end of 4 years and the last is due at the end of 9 years. Okay, so notice this is deferred annuity since the first payment is after pa. Okay, the first payment is to be paid at the end of the 4th year. Okay, let's write all the given. Your rate is 16%. Okay, so that is equal to 0.16. That is, how did we get 0.16? Divide 16 by 100 and cancel out the percent. So 0.16. Your M is 2 since your periodic payment is semi-annual. So your M is 2. Your annuity present value of your annuity is 45,000. We use subscript D since this problem is in deferred annuity. Okay. And your time is 9 years. Your P is M times T. You have 2 times 9. So your P, small letter P, is 18. And for your deferred payment is the number of payments. Okay, which is wa pa nimo gibayaran ang imuhang uh, amount to be paid. So your debt is 7 periods. Okay, why 7? Okay, since for the first 3 years there are 6 semi-annual, and for the 4th year the first semi-annual lang ang wala nimo nabayaran. The second semi-annual, which is at the end of the 4th year, magbayad naman ka, so that is not to be counted. So 6 plus 1, there are only 7 deferred periods. Okay, your I is R over M. So 0.16 divided by 2, you have 0.08. And we're looking for the semi-annual payment or the periodic payment. Okay, let's review the formula for periodic payment. So you have this one. So solution, just copy the formula. Then substitute all the values on the given. So for the present value, 45,000. For the periodic rate, 0.08. Okay, periodic rate again, 0.08. Your deferred payment, number of payment, 7. Then P plus D, you have 18 plus 7. Okay, and simplify further. 45,000 times 0.08 is 36. Okay, or 3,600. Okay, add what is inside the parentheses. So you have 1.08. Similarly, 1 plus 0.08 is 1.08. And 18 plus 7 is 25. Okay, simplify further the denominator. Just copy the numerator. For the denominator, 1.08 to the power of negative 7 is 0.5835. Okay, so I use 4 decimal place. You can also use 5 decimal place or 6 decimal place on your own. Okay, and minus 1.08 to the power of negative 25 is 0.1460. Okay, you subtract these two terms in the denominator, so you will arrive into 36 all over 0.4375. Simplify further, therefore your periodic payment or the semi-annual payment is 8,228.57 pesos. And that's all for the annuity. Thank you for listening and goodbye.